On February 10, 2026, the Philippines confirmed its acquisition of the Meteor Beyond Visual Range air-to-air missile, a move that marks the most significant upgrade to its defense in a generation. The announcement from the Department of National Defense was brief, but clear. The Philippines is drawing a new line in the sky. For years, the nation faced mounting pressure in its own waters, but this deal signals a dramatic shift in strategy and resolve. This isn't just a weapons purchase. It's a declaration that the Philippines will no longer be a bystander in its own backyard. The Meteor missile represents a technological leap, redefining the rules of engagement over the South China Sea. For Philippine Air Force pilots, it means holding a weapon that can outrange and outthink many adversaries. This acquisition is a clear signal to the world, and to Beijing, that the Philippines will not be pushed around. It's a statement that territorial integrity and the rights of its people are non-negotiable. The Meteor is more than hardware. It's a symbol of a nation taking control of its destiny. The implications are vast. Regional powers must now recalculate, and Filipino diplomats have a stronger hand. The Meteor is not a silver bullet, but it's a powerful shield and a sharper spear. Backed by advanced technology, the Philippines has just changed the game. The world is watching to see what happens next. For decades, the Philippines struggled to defend its vast coastline and resource-rich waters. The military focused on internal threats, leaving its Navy and Air Force underfunded and outmatched. In the South China Sea, this weakness was exploited. Fishermen harassed, survey ships blocked, and territory encroached upon. The Air Force flew aging planes, the Navy sailed second-hand ships. Filipino soldiers had spirit, but their equipment left them at a disadvantage. China's sweeping claims and militarized artificial islands brought power right to the Philippines' doorstep. Diplomatic protests and legal victories were ignored on the water. The country lacked a credible deterrent, something to make aggressors think twice. For years, this imbalance created national anxiety and a sense of helplessness. The Meteor missile is a direct response to this history. It's a decision to no longer be the weaker party in its own waters. The Philippines is finally taking steps to secure its sovereignty. The era of vulnerability is ending. In recent years, pressure against the Philippines has intensified, forming a clear pattern of coercion. Chinese Coast Guard vessels have used water cannons against Philippine supply boats, causing real danger and damage. Swarms of Chinese maritime militia, large steel-hulled trawlers, have blocked Filipino fishermen from their own waters. Military-grade lasers have been aimed at Philippine vessels, temporarily blinding crews and escalating tensions. These actions disregard international norms and test the Philippines' resolve. Diplomatic protests and international support have not changed the reality at sea. The relentless pressure campaign made vulnerability a clear and present danger. The Meteor missile is a direct response to these provocations. The Philippines realized it needed a credible deterrent to protect its sovereignty. The stakes are no longer theoretical, they are immediate and real. The Meteor is a long-range, air-to-air missile fired from fighter jets to destroy enemy aircraft. Its game-changing feature is a ramjet engine, allowing it to maintain high speed and maneuverability all the way to its target. Unlike traditional missiles that lose energy after launch, the Meteor powers itself throughout flight, making it nearly impossible to outrun or outmaneuver. Its beyond visual range capability means pilots can engage threats far beyond what they can see. Guided by radar and a two-way data link, the missile receives real-time updates, tracking evasive targets. In the final phase, it uses its own radar to lock on and strike. This combination creates a massive no-escape zone. If the Meteor is fired, the target has little chance of survival. For adversaries, this is a terrifying prospect. A Philippine fighter jet equipped with the Meteor can threaten enemies from over the horizon. The hunter becomes the hunted. Philippine pilots are no longer outranged, they set the terms of engagement. The Meteor is one of the world's most feared air-to-air missiles. It's a true force multiplier for the Philippine Air Force. The Meteor missile transforms the Philippine Air Force's capabilities overnight. Previously, FA-50 jets had to get dangerously close to adversaries to engage, putting pilots at risk. Now, with the Meteor, they can detect and strike targets over 100 kilometers away. This extends a defensive bubble far into the West Philippine Sea, protecting airspace and naval assets. Pilots shift from underdogs to apex predators, fundamentally changing their mindset. The upgrade enables a new doctrine, moving from pure defense to active air control. The Air Force can now conduct offensive counter-air missions and provide a protective umbrella for Navy and Coast Guard operations. This synergy creates a modern, integrated military force. The Meteor unlocks new potential, elevating the Air Force's credibility and lethality. The Philippines now commands respect in the skies. The Meteor missile doesn't just upgrade the Air Force, it shifts the regional balance of power. China's Air Force once enjoyed overwhelming superiority, controlling the skies with advanced jets and long-range missiles. The Meteor challenges this, introducing asymmetric deterrence. Even a small number of Meteor-armed jets can threaten a much larger force, forcing adversaries to reconsider aggression. The cost of conflict for China is now higher. Losing expensive aircraft and trained pilots is a real risk. Deterrence is about making the price of aggression unacceptable. The Philippines doesn't need to match China plane for plane, it just needs to raise the stakes. The Meteor gives diplomats a stronger hand, backed by credible military power. The scales aren't perfectly balanced, but the gap has narrowed. The goal isn't to win a war, but to prevent one from starting. The Philippines now has a seat at the table. The Meteor marks a shift from passive defense to active deterrence for the Philippines. Instead of reacting to incursions, the country can now proactively shape events. Active deterrence means establishing a credible capacity to respond with force, discouraging hostile action before it starts. The Meteor is the guard dog, not just a lock on the door. The Air Force can now patrol far from shore, creating a protective screen over the West Philippine Sea. Hostile aircraft must now think twice before approaching. This empowers the nation, sending a message that the Philippines is taking control of its security. Naval and Coast Guard vessels can operate with greater confidence, knowing they have air cover. Fishermen can feel safer in their own waters. Technologies like the Meteor transform national anxiety into quiet confidence. The Philippines is ready to meet threats before they reach its shores. The Meteor deal strengthens not just the Philippines, but its alliances, especially with the United States. A more capable Philippines is a more valuable ally, enhancing the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty. By investing in its own defense, the Philippines shows it's a serious partner, not just relying on others. Advanced systems like the Meteor improve interoperability, allowing joint training and real-world operations with U.S. forces. Philippine fighters can now protect U.S. assets, and vice versa, creating a formidable collective defense. This move also reassures regional partners like Japan, Australia, Vietnam, and India, encouraging deeper cooperation. A stronger Philippines emboldens others to uphold international law and stability in the South China Sea. A capable military helps stabilize the region, reducing the risk of miscalculation and aggression. This is not provocation, it's stabilization. The Philippines is stepping up as a responsible stakeholder in Southeast Asia's security. The region is safer when power is balanced. The Meteor deal is a catalyst for stronger alliances and a more secure Indo-Pacific. The Meteor missile is a historic step, but it's just the beginning of the Philippines' military modernization. Success depends on investing in training. Pilots and ground crews must master new tactics and technologies. The Meteor is only effective as part of a complete system. Upgraded radars, early warning aircraft, and intelligence networks are essential. Sustained funding is crucial, not just for missiles, but for ships, equipment, and patrol vessels across all branches. The momentum from this deal must drive a long-term modernization program. The Meteor is a symbol of national resolve and a tool for active deterrence. It strengthens independence, alliances, and regional stability. Implementation and modernization challenges remain, but the path is set. This is a giant leap forward, but only the first step. The Philippines' future security depends on building a truly modern, integrated defense force for the 21st century.